everyone, and welcome. Tonight I have the pleasure of sitting down and talking with If Not For Me. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, say what your role is in the band, and give a little background information about If Not For Me for those who may not be familiar.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Patty. I sing.
I'm Cody and I play drums.
I'm Zach and I play bass.
My name's Hayden. I play guitar.
Do you want to give a little bit of background information for those?
Oh yeah.
That's a good background tidbit about us.
Yeah.
Well, we're a metalcore band from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Currently signed to Thriller Records. We have a album coming out at the end of this month on the 29th called Everything You Wanted.
I guess that's good background. I forgot everything about our band when you asked that.
We play
It's one of-
metalcore music.
Yeah, it's one of those questions when you're in an interview. What do you like to do in your off time or something like that? And then all of a sudden I'm boring and I have nothing to say. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
sleep. Yeah. So
that's how we are.
So
We do
sorry to throw you
music,
off
that's about
there.
it.
Yeah. Well, you kind of touched on some things that I was going to throw out here in my first question.
Cool.
So lots of things happening for you guys so far this year. You just released a new single, No Thanks to You, this past Friday on the 1st.
Yeah.
You guys made the move from In Vogue to Thriller, and you have a new album dropping on March 29th. So my question for you is, how have you kept your sanity through all this excitement going on this month, or months, I should say?
It's hard, but rewarding, I guess.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I feel like every week, like we're hit with like more good news about things that are supposed to be coming, and I don't know, it's just been really cool, navigating this whole thing, and I don't know, we're at a point where I guess we never really knew that we would be at, which is really cool, and things just kind of keep growing.
That's awesome. Anybody else want to add anything to that?
Yeah, it's definitely really exciting. A big struggle is just keeping some of the stuff like to ourselves.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
imagine.
it's a lot about like future touring plans and stuff, and we're like, oh, we can't really tell you that right now, but expect some cool stuff soon.
Yeah, I do follow you guys on TikTok and keep up with all the information. And sometimes I always have to have it on mute so I don't hear songs before I react to
Yeah.
them. That's
I
the
feel
one hard.
that.
Yeah, it's the one
Oh,
hard
that's a
thing
good
about.
point.
Yeah, one hard thing about being a reactor is
I like that
being
it's
on social.
authentic.
Yeah, I try to keep it that way. So I see something pop up and I'm like, nope. But I will say I do like the Spotify playlist, the titles that you pull up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
little tidbit of humor here and there. Navigating the TikTok world.
Yeah. Be on the lookout because I made a weird one for you. Hopefully I'll make it on there one day.
Sick.
Stoked to review it.
Stoked.
Nice. All right. So after I heard Demons and Feel Me Now, which I have to add are two solid bangers, I dove into the Eulogy album. I was instantly hooked on that. So my question for you is, how does Eulogy compare to Everything You Wanted?
That's a good question. I see you have your copy of Eulogy sitting behind me.
did.
That's
I actually
awesome.
had one of my subscribers sent that to me. I was like, oh, let's get ready to buy it.
Really?
That's
That's
awesome.
so
So
sick.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of let's see, what is different about that album? A lot of what I wrote Eulogy about was, dealing with like mental illness and loss and all that kind of stuff, suicide. Um and it was just like I don't know, it was a really like introspective record, I guess. And then with Everything You Wanted, a lot of it deals with uh things that I was doing and mistakes I was making and being hurt by other people and stuff like that. So I guess it was a more, externalized record, where I was, kind of writing about things that I've done or things that have happened, not necessarily inside my own head. There's definitely some tracks on the album that still touch on that stuff, but yeah, most of Everything You Wanted was just kind of written from a place more outside my own head. And of course, the writing process was like super different for it too, because like for Eulogy, we did pretty much the entire thing by ourselves. We do have like one song that we wrote with the producers who did Eulogy on that album. And then Everything You Wanted, like we wanted to write with a lot of different people, which was great. It opened a lot of doors for us.
Nice.
So like the production and recording side was honestly completely different than how we did Eulogy. But yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this album coming out. So
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
are we?
it'll be
Yeah.
added to the collection here.
Yeah.
That's another one of those things that has been really hard to like keep to ourselves.
Aw.
We've had this, I don't know, done for a bit, so
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. I'm not good with keeping secrets. I have to buy Christmas presents and birthday presents days before because
Yep.
I'm like, here, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
you'll
I
give
got
them to
this
him
for
too.
you. Yeah.
Yep.
So I understand
Yeah.
in a way. All right. So with so many bands in the metalcore scene, what kind of obstacles have you faced and what sets, if not for me, apart from others in the genre?
Good question.
Honestly, I do think that's kind of where we strive is like dealing with problems, and I don't know, a lot of bands that I've seen will be like, experience something and just be, well, sorry guys, we have to drop the show. And really, I'd like to say we're really good with not doing that and just overcoming the problems and giving the fans the best show that we can.
Yeah, we all have a lot of different strengths that complement each other very well. Like Hayden here is a really great producer. He does a lot of live sound stuff, so he's talking about
Awesome.
troubleshooting stuff on the fly. It's great. And then Zach also works in live sounds. I work in the music industry myself a little bit, so I know about all sorts of stuff. Ginger, all about that. But and Patty does a lot of awesome stuff too, and is just honestly absolutely killer live. Can just crush it every year. It's a huge
Aw,
thing.
Awesome.
thanks.
Sounds like a great group to have there. So that's
One
perfect
Try to be
thing
answer.
diverse.
Yeah, one thing I tell people is like you're only as good as the team you have around you. So it's
That's
like
true.
really like you could have the best music, you could have the best image, best live show, blah blah blah. But like if you don't have a team around you and if you're afraid to ask for help and learn, then like you're not really gonna break through, I guess. So it's like it's important to have people around you that can lift you up. And like we're a band that we had to do a lot of things wrong before we kind of figured out what was right.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think that's something that sets us apart a little bit. Anything to
Awesome.
add?
It was pretty solid.
Yeah,
Right.
bands don't really talk about learning from their failures as much as I think they should, but we've all been in so many projects throughout the years before we all kind of came together, as if not for me, that we all just kind of went through those trials and tribulations of the metalcore band, so we know how to handle and overcome and just adapt to different situations and ultimately not get upset by a lot of the hustle and grind behind everything.
Yeah, that'll definitely drag you down real quick. So that's awesome. All right. So got my watch caught on my, I hate wires. I'm sorry. When it comes to writing and performing songs, what is it that you would like fans to take away from your music?
Well, that's a good question. As far as the live show, like we want energy. Like we love to interact with the crowd. We love when the crowd's having a good time. We try to be like super energetic ourselves on stage. Like Hayden and Zach are just like all over the place on stage. They're
Nice. I
crushing
love
it.
that.
Cody's crushing it. He gets real big behind the drum set. I don't know. We
Nice.
just like to bring energy live, and we want to give the fans a show that they're gonna remember, whether we're playing to 5 people or 500 people. Like we want the same show every night because that one kid in the crowd of 5 people could have drove 4 hours to come see us, and
Yeah.
they were waiting for it forever, and it was like a dream come true to see us. So like we like consistency. We like to bring like a certain level of energy and production every single night and just give people the best, if not for me, show that they could possibly have.
Well, love that.
Agreed.
As a music fan, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
And being where
We
I
just
live at in Florida, I have to drive a couple hours to go to
right.
shows and stuff. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, we just love connecting with people through music and like when people get something out of our music and get something out of our live show, that's what it's all about. Like that's the best thing ever.
All right. So my next question, a lot of us have been in some kind of toxic relationship. So your songs are relatable in that aspect.
Mhm.
What has been the most emotionally challenging song you have written or recorded?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This is definitely a Patty question.
That's tough. That's really tough.
Hard-hitting questions here today.
Yeah.
I broke down in tears tracking drums, Just kidding, man.
Banging away, tears just flowing.
Tears of
Beautiful.
passion.
Yes.
For this specific album, I would probably say Feel Me Now, because I was just I don't know, I was dealing with a lot of stuff back when we recorded that song. And I don't know, it was just I had a lot of personal things going on, and it was really hard to get myself in the mindset of like writing a good song. So like that was kind of a struggle on top of it. And then the subject matter was like kind of like about what I was going through. So it was just kind of getting that out there. So I'd probably say that one. Overall though, out of all our discography, I'd probably say Powerless from Eulogy is probably the hardest one I've ever had to write. But that's a whole long thing.
Oh. We'll catch that on the next interview, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great because, you know,
That's a good question though.
yeah, music, it heals, and you can connect with people through
Absolutely.
music, and it's a powerful thing. So
That's one of the coolest parts is when I get to hear from people that are like, yeah, like what you said here, like is exactly what I needed to hear when I heard it. And I don't know, that's such a cool thing to be able to connect with somebody through like something that I was feeling, and you know, and to see somebody else get something out of that is just awesome.
yeah, and you know, you're not alone in this world too. So
Yeah.
it means a lot for us music fans, and so kudos to that. All right, so this is something I've always been curious about when you guys write and put out singles. Do you guys record multiple singles at a time? And if you do, how do you decide which single gets dropped first?
In an ideal world, we like to write the whole album and then pick the singles. Sometimes we don't always have that luxury though. In this instance, we recorded Feel Me Now, Demons, and yeah, Everything You Wanted. Not at the same time, but all before we were ready to release anything. And that is like those are the songs that we like kind of shopped around to different labels and teams and stuff like that before we signed with In Vogue. Then they picked us up and then they kind of told us what they thought.
Okay.
And then we recorded more songs, and then with a bigger, I guess, collection of music, we picked it from there too.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I was always
As far
curious
as
about
like
that.
Yeah, as far as like writing goes, it really depends because like for this record specifically, we worked with a lot of different people, so that meant traveling to a lot of different places. And so like we do I think Demons was one of the first songs we did for this album. I Feel Me Now might have been first. I can't remember. Um but Demons, we went up to Michigan to work with John Eberhard and Nick Matzkow's on that song. And we just did that one song in like 2-ish days, something like that. And it ended up going so well that we were like, yeah, we want to do a lot more songs with them. So then we came back home and we did a couple more songs with other people. Um, and then we spent like what, 2 weeks in Michigan with John and Nick doing like the like half of the album practically.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like it really depends on our schedule and like how flexible our producers can be and stuff like that. But yeah, sometimes we'll write some songs back to back. Other times, like this album probably took almost a year total in between like writing sessions. So really it depends.
All right, good answer. Little insight for me being on the outside here, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, what made you want to pursue a career in music?
I'm not good at anything else.
Same.
Honest.
No, I love it. I just remember being I was probably like 12 or 13 when I went to my first show ever. Um, and at the time, I didn't know I liked music yet. I just went out to like see, a local show. I think it was at the rec center in this little town that I lived in, and I just knew my friends were going, so I went. And
Nice.
I think the headliner was like Texas in July or something like that, and this tiny little rec center, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And I was like, that's what I want. Like I want to do that. And then I don't know, I just kind of fell in love with it. But yeah.
Yeah, music's just always been a big thing for me. I just grew up playing drums in the school band and everything, and then I don't know, I just found heavy metal one day when my mom was just dropped me off at the mall and she's doing her shop, and I was just hanging out in FYE, and that would just kind of be a thing where I would
Nice.
just find all sorts of different album covers that would really like stand out to me. And then I went on this kick of trying to find like the heaviest music out there. Then I just kind of kept diving more and more into music. Then eventually I formed my own band in high school and kind of just been doing it ever since. And now I kind of even work out outside of the band and music, and it just be like the behind the scenes of how like music gets to the listener, and it's just something that always fascinated me.
Awesome.
Um, so I mean, I think really all comes down to passion, right? I think if you aren't passionate about it, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
True.
But yeah, I think for me, it was just being younger, getting inspired by all those bands that I used to love, and just being like, I want to make this, I want to do this. You know what I mean? I think if you can listen to the music you love and get passionate about it, then you're probably a good candidate to be an artist.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I was younger listening to like Bullet for My Valentine, Linkin Park, stuff like that, and I don't I mean I started playing guitar before that, because my dad played guitar, so it was like,
Okay.
oh, I see that looks really cool, I want to play, and I don't know, I just started playing with other people, and that is honestly probably one of the most fun things in the world to do that I've experienced. And I just kind of, I don't know, did that and started producing and, running sound for live concerts and stuff. And just like, this is all I want to do. So,
Yeah, well, you're 100% correct on that. If you're not passionate about something, then why?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, I was in band in middle school and I played clarinet for a few years. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Sick.
could I play now? I don't know. That was too long ago, I'm sure, but
You'd be
so
surprised. I started out
yeah,
with the saxophone and I picked one up like 2 years
nice.
ago and I was like, wow, I can still do these
It's
scales.
like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I may have to do that and I'll put it on the JyngerSlapz YouTube channel.
Yes.
We'll
Ah,
react to
yes.
you this time.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
amazing. I have an acoustic guitar over here that I eventually want to try to learn how to play. So maybe that will end up there too.
Sick.
JyngerSlapz reactions. All right. So next question falls into that as well. Who has been your biggest musical influences and how do they help mold your musical style?
I'll start. I'm gonna say probably the biggest one for me is Killswitch Engage.
Nice.
Because I think, as far as I remember, they were the first band I ever heard that had like screaming vocals in them. And I was like really, I was like maybe 11, something like that. And my uncle showed them to me. And I was like, what is this? And that's kind of like what kind of started my whole deep dive into like rock and metal and stuff like that because it was just so fresh to me. I grew up on like 90s country, so I'd never really heard anything like that before. Which shout out 90s country, it's still awesome.
I agree.
Yeah. but like as far as like a singer, I'd say like two of my huge influences are I can't speak, Spencer Chamberlain from Under Oath, and then Chris Rotter from like Moths to Flames. Like when I was learning how to scream, those were two guys that I really looked up to. I just really like their kind of style, I guess. And that's kind of that helped me develop a lot of, I guess, my vocal nuances.
Very awesome.
I guess for me, what got me like first into the genre of heavy metal, kind of like that gateway band. Don't listen as much as I should now, but probably Disturbed and Linkin Park really got me into that realm. And then from there, like I was already drumming before that. Then drummers I would say that really inspired me and made me really step my game up were definitely Mac Reiner from August Burns Red, especially being so close to the Lancaster music scene and seeing them perform. Guy's just
Awesome.
a monster and really made me rethink how people do stuff in the world of drumming. Then after that, it was probably Matt Halpern from Periphery, just seeing how like jazz influenced like metal sounds. And I was also in jazz band and drumline, and it was really cool to incorporate rudiments to
That's
metalcore.
awesome.
And then probably after that, even further was Chris Penny from the Dillinger Escape Plan, who was just an absolute monster. But
So I think influencers for me, the biggest one is definitely Linkin Park. I mean, I think they're the band that got me into music in general. Like, I don't know if I'd really even be into music like without them, because they really just showed me that like heavy music didn't have to be like, Metallica or Megadeth. Because I really had no interest in those kind of bands when I was younger, like at all. Maybe they just were too old sounding to me. But when Linkin Park came out, it just kind of opened my eyes a bit. And I was like, oh, you can like kind of genre mix and like be a little more interesting. And I know the aggression was really cool. But yeah, love that band.
Yeah, for me, honestly, I don't know why. I feel like every time I get asked this question, I have overlooked this, I guess. But it's as far as playing guitar, I was super into Van Halen when I was younger,
Nice.
and that definitely like I don't know, influenced my playing style a lot and really wanted to make me to like learn how to shred and stuff like that. But I don't know, after playing in bands for real, I guess, and stuff, I definitely look more towards like, I don't know, Linkin Park, like you said, and a lot of the newer bands where it's just like there doesn't have to be shredding involved, but it's still like really definitely influenced me.
That's awesome. Yeah, Lincoln Park, that was a huge part of my high school years there. So
Yep.
I remember going out and getting that CD when it dropped at Virgin Records. I miss having CD stores and album
Yep.
stores and
Yeah.
everything. It's like, why? I mean, I appreciate
R.I.P.
being able to pull it up on my phone. It's right there, but I like having,
Yeah, you don't own anything,
yeah.
and it
So
sucks.
Accessibility is really a double-edged sword, but
yes.
that's a whole other tangent.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up in this, but I'm like, we'll save it for another time. But all right. So with that, what has been the best piece of advice you have received starting out in the music industry?
That's a good question.
I would something similar to what I said a little earlier is just like not getting discouraged from failure and to what Zach says too. If you're passionate about something, keep going with that. I can't. My God, I've had some of the worst things happen to me playing music already, just as a drummer. Like I've had my whole drum set fall off stage, like the click
Oh,
track coming through the
God.
samples.
Oh.
But you know what? You don't. I've gotten booed already. You know, in the band. Like
Every
Aw.
time you bring that up, it just kills me.
yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, like yeah, it kills your spirit for a little bit, but it's something that you learn to overcome, and then you tell yourself, "I'm never going to allow that to happen," so you grow from it. You know.
There you go.
I would just say like not getting and also just not getting bummed out by all people's successes that they claim on Facebook and social media. No one on social media claims their failures. They just make it look they could have the worst day ever, you know, but they can make one selfie or something look like they had an incredible day to an outside perspective, you know.
That is so
It happens in the
true.
music world all the time, and it
Really?
makes it look like competition.
And you kind of got to look fake online, unfortunately, as much as that sucks to
It's social
say.
credit.
So,
It's with any business, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Stuff.
get
So
that.
like to touch on that, like there's that phrase "fake it till you make it," and like to me it doesn't mean like literally just be a fake person. Like that's not what it means. To me, it's more like you have to like dress for the job you want kind
Yep.
of thing.
Yeah,
So like if you're not taking yourself seriously, you can't expect anybody else to take you seriously.
100%.
100%.
And also like along with what I was saying earlier, like just don't be afraid to ask for help. And like there's like listen to criticism because there's a big difference between criticism and haters. Like sure
Yes,
you can have haters that like you can just ignore, but if somebody's giving you genuine criticism or you go to somebody for criticism, take what they have to say to heart because
Yeah.
like they don't have a stake in your music. Like they're telling you what they're telling you because they see an area where you can improve. So like don't be afraid to listen to that kind of stuff. I don't know.
yeah.
You got
I need to keep
anything?
some of this in my back of my head too sometimes.
Yeah.
I read the comment sections of my videos and
Yeah, unfortunately, the people that like rag on not just you, obviously, but like you plural as a band business, whatever. A lot of that is grounded in fact,
Yeah. You have
So
to be able to separate like honest criticism from people that like just want to be a douchebag online
yeah,
because there definitely are those people
Mhm.
that you're just
they'll
like
find
whatever.
something to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like genuine criticism, you really should, take a look at what you should be doing because you always want to be improving.
of course, yes.
And I think that's hard to do and if you're only like looking introspectively. Like I think you have to look outside of yourself to find that kind of stuff sometimes. But yeah, that's kind of like a long-winded answer, but
Yeah, no, it's good. That's what we want here.
Yeah, and just to go along with the kind of like fake it till you make it mentality, it's just like you want to manifest it. Like people, it's a crazy
Yeah.
word in today's generation anymore, but like it's almost become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, if you keep telling yourself that you're gonna do this, you're gonna be this band, you're gonna plow through the adversity that you get on social media and stuff. Like you're eventually gonna break through. You know, but if you just discredit yourself constantly or just like make excuses for why you're not succeeding and not listening to this constructive criticism, then yeah, you're never gonna make that self-fulfilling prophecy become real.
Yeah,
That's true.
honestly, that's not like a piece of advice that I received, but the people that like, man, I forget where I was going with this. What did you just say?
just kind of like manifest and stuff, like listening to your team and like just kind of putting it out there, and eventually it becomes the self-fulfilling prophecy that you want it to be, and it happens.
Yeah, I lost it, but that's all right.
It's cool.
It was going to be
good.
really
Yeah.
profound.
That happens to me all the time. Don't feel bad.
Yeah,
You're
it's
gonna
okay.
get a call at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Why is my Zoom going on?
Yeah.
Instagram. All right. So let's kind of have a little fun here. Outside of music, what are some of your passions or hobbies?
I think I can speak for all of us and say video games is one of them.
All right.
You guys could get more specific.
I don't really play a lot of video games. I love watching
He's
like
lying.
different shows on Netflix and stuff. I just restarted Breaking Bad again. I've seen it like twice already, but it's just such a I love cinematography and stuff like that. Really into cooking. I like grilling a
Oh,
lot and cooking.
Nice.
And I ultimately love working on other bands' releases and stuff from some of the other jobs I do.
Awesome.
Music industry. Music. I'm just
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big gamer, so like I love gaming. I love video games. I try not to as much anymore because it can definitely be a time sink that doesn't really benefit your real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Gotta have a break every now and then, though.
yeah, I mean, I just outside of music, I think that's the only really thing that I'm like super interested in. So
Nice.
Yeah, honestly, for me, I like video games, but every time I play video games, I'm like, man, I could be getting so much other stuff done. And I don't really, realistically, I don't like that feeling, so I just don't a lot. But sometimes, especially when I'm on the road and I have a Switch with me, I'm like, I can't do anything else. So
Yeah. Oh, there you go. It kills
I
time.
really like Pokemon and stuff like that. So Dark Souls, I know those are very different things, but
For me, I'm definitely very into gaming. And media in general, when it comes to like TV and movie and stuff like that, I'm a big TV movie guy. I don't know, I just like to be entertained. Maybe that's the ADHD brain. I just like entertainment all the time.
yeah.
And I'm also like, people usually don't guess it, but I'm very, very big into sports. I was like a big sports guy growing up,
Awesome.
and I still am. But that might be about it. I don't be doing much. I used to
Well,
skateboard. That was fun.
I'm a pretty boring person, I feel like. I just work.
Yeah, we work a lot.
adulting.
Yeah, trying to
Well,
feed my cats.
no. I do some streaming over on Twitch.
Cool.
I am an Arc nerd now.
Oh, really?
I recently started playing that, and there's some other stuff I play on there. So if you guys ever have any downtime and want to join me on a Twitch stream and play some video
Cool.
games, I'll have you on there.
We keep telling Zach to get into Twitch. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think he could do well on it.
Hey, why
That's
not?
funny. Trust me.
Kevin from Soft Spoken, I actually have him play
Kevin.
with us every once in a while, so
Ah, okay.
can make a thing out of it. Battle of the
that's gonna be
bands.
cool.
That would be sick.
All right, so this brings us to the last question here. Is there anything you'd like to add out there for the fans?
1 + 1. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Got anything, Cody?
It is 2, by the way.
I basically, I don't know. I just say we're super excited to get this album out. In case you missed it, it's called Everything You Wanted. It drops on March 29th, and we worked really hard on it. We think it's really good. So we're stoked to share it with you. The reception has been incredible so far for all the singles. So like we can't thank you guys enough for that. And yeah, we have pre-orders up at the link in our bios for the album. We have tickets to our tour that's coming up to support the album. And then we have a contest that we're running also at that link in our bio where you can win a bunch of cool stuff from the album, like signed vinyl, like merch items, stuff like that. But yeah, we're stoked to share this music with you guys, and we're happy to see everything's sitting well with everybody. Like the reception's been awesome, and it's just good to see because we worked really hard on it. We think it's really good, so we're excited.
Yeah, and we love engaging with our fans too. So we have a Discord channel, Discord server. We'd love everybody to come hang out with us. We try to be really active in all that and leak some really exclusive stuff within the server. Like we just had a listening party before our song dropped last week, where everybody heard it in the Discord first. And we take pride in being able to respond to pretty much anybody who reaches out to us. So if you see a video about us, just make sure you comment on it. We'll try to comment back and engage with you guys because ultimately we appreciate the hell out of you, and If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be a band. So
Yeah.
All right. So nobody else wants to add anything to that. I guess we'll wrap it up here. No- Thank you for the math problem.
I'm okay. Yeah. Yeah,
All
that
right.
they summed it up pretty good.
All
I could
right.
have done better.
All right, guys. I just want to thank you so much. I know you guys are extremely busy, so thank you for joining me here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Happy to be here.
Anytime. So hopefully, I know there's no tour dates for Florida, and I know that's difficult and
Soon.
whatnot. Hopefully.
We might see you this year.
All
Can't
right.
really say much, but we might see you this year.
Okay.
Remember, we can't talk about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask. I didn't say anything.
A lot of stuff going on.
All right. So thank you guys out there for showing all your love and support. Be sure to go check out If Not For Me over on all their social media accounts and over on YouTube. Show this band the much deserved love, and be sure to pick up their new album when it drops on March 29th. And if you get the chance, go check them out live. All right, my friends, until next time, have a wonderful night.
Thank you.